Um, in analytical, ang most important dito is in the data and charts topic is yung finding the relevant data points. So what do we mean by that? Given ka ng chart, kailangan mo kasi hanapin yung mga data points na kailangan mo for the calculation required. So yun yung pinaka-important na tama yung makuha mong data point. Kasi kung mali yung makuha mong data point, di mali na rin yung calculations. So usually, yung mga calculations, yung mga next steps sa mga data and charts problems, actually applications lang to ng mga na natutunan nyo na skills before, such as yung percentage increase, decrease, ratio and proportion, or adding fractions, or fraction multiplication, and so on. Pero applications lang siya ng mga napag-aralan na natin na topics. Kaya ang challenge lang dito, ang additional challenge lang for us in data and charts na topic is yung pag-extract ng correct data points. Okay? So yun yung gagawin natin ngayon. Paano ba mag-extract ng data points? So familiarize natin yung mga iba-ibang types ng charts and yung commonly ma-encounter nyo. So meron tayong, before we go to the charts themselves, ano ba yung mga key elements sa data and charts? So una, yung title ng chart, importante. So doon usually nakasulat ano ba yung dinidescribe ng chart, and some charts would indicate ano ba yung units na ginagamit dun sa chart. And then pangalawa, yung labels. Ano yung axis, ano yung y-axis, ano yung x-axis, clearly identified, clearly stated dapat ano bang nire-represent ng mga axis mo. Malinaw dapat sa inyo yun. Ano yung y-axis, ano yung x-axis, ano yung nire-represent nila, and ano yung scale. Ano ba yung measurement ng ano ba yung measurement na naka-indicate? Naka-millions ba? Naka-thousands? Or as is? Usually, pag masyadong malaki, nakalagay lang sa axis, halimbawa, 10, 20, 30. Pero naka-indicate sa title na ang scale niya is in millions. So, ibig sabihin, yung 10 sa y-axis is 10 million. Yung 20 is 20 million. So, yun yung scale. Very important. And lastly, and last but not the least, yung pinaka-importante, yung legends. Ito yung nag-explain ng symbols, colors, or patterns. Ano ba yung categories na nire-represent ng isang chart? Halimbawa, yung color gray is for this category. Color dark gray is for this category. So later on, titingin tayo ng example for each. Okay? So, may mga iba-ibang types ng chart. Line chart, bar chart, and then merong pie chart. So, makikita nyo yan dun sa app natin. Yung data and charts natin, available lahat ng questions doon, either free or premium user. So, makikita nyo yung data and charts problem. Pwede nyo rin gamitin yung study plan. Kasi sa study plan, available din yun for free users sa data and charts. So, may mag-start lang kayo sa easy charts, and then medium, and then hard charts na kailangan nyo basahin. So, pwede nyo gamitin yung study plan sa app. So, in this case, sa multiple line chart, for example, so line chart is just basically you have a line. So, pag meron ka multiple, so meron ka multiple lines like this one. Yan. So, ito, ang una nyong babasahin pag nakakita kayo ng chart, yung title. Ano ba tong chart na to? Survey results for city mayor election. So, naka-parenthesis, percent of respondents. Ibig sabihin, yung mga figures dito is percent of respondents. Ano pa yung mga key element dito? Ano yung axis natin? Yung axis natin, ayan, nakalagay naman sa title, percent respondents. Ibig sabihin, yung y-axis natin, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. Ito yung percent of respondents. Yung x-axis natin, makikita nyo, is in terms of time. November, December, January, February, March, April. So, yun yung mga key elements. And last but not the least, meron tayong legend. So, makikita nyo yung legend ng per candidate. Ang ibig sabihin nito, yung line na merong triangle, ito, triangle, kay candidate C yan. So, ibig sabihin, alin ba yung line na may triangle? Ito. Itong line na to. Yung may triangle. Yan yung line for candidate C, based sa legend. Ano yung line na may square? Ito, para yan kay candidate B. Nasaan yung line na may square? Ito, square. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung line for candidate B. Ibig sabihin yan, isipin nyo lang, kay candidate B, yung percent respondents niya bumababa, di ba? From 40% nung November, ilan na lang siya nung December. Ito na, mas mababa na sa 40. So, somewhere between 30 and 40, let's say 35%. So, ito na lang yung kay candidate B. So, matatrack nyo kay candidate B habang nag-iiba yung time, ano yung percent nung survey result niya. And then lastly, yung pa-diamond na line na mayroong mark is for candidate A. Nasaan yung pa-diamond? This one. Ito, pag ganito. Itong line na to is for candidate A. Okay? So for candidate A, for example, meron kang nagsimula siya noong November na 20%, tapos nung by January, tumaas na yung survey result niya to 30%. Okay? Yun yung pagbasa ng chart. Again, this whole line, this line is for candidate A. So kada candidate may kanya-kanyang line based dun sa legend natin. So yun yung pagbasa nitong multiple line chart na to in particular. So very important yung legend. Okay tayo dun sa part na yun? Yeah? So let's say out of 2,000 survey respondents, ang question sa atin, out of 2,000 survey respondents, how many indicated that they would vote for candidate A in March? So, ibig sabihin nito, kung merong 2,000 survey respondents, gaano karami raw yung nagsabi na boboto sila for candidate A in March? So, again, ang unang step, ang most important step in data and charts is extracting the data, right? Before tayo mag-calculate. Ano ba yung hinahanap natin? Si candidate A. So, ano yung line na pina-follow natin? Ano ba yung line ni candidate A? Nasaan yung line ni candidate A? Ito yung line ni candidate A, right? Tama? Yung may pa-diamond. Pa-diamond si candidate A. So, ito yung line niya. Kasi ito square, ito triangle. So, ito diamond. So, ito si candidate A. Ito yung line niya. Tama? Ano yung hinahanap natin for candidate A? Yung value ng survey result niya in March. So, March, tingnan natin yung March for candidate A. Ito yung line niya. Itong value na to. Ano tong value na to? Somewhere between 30 and 20. So, let's say, so it's kind of almost exactly in between, di ba? Between 20 and 30. So, let's say it's 25%. Tama? Ito yung survey respondents. So, well, depende sa choices. Kung yung choices nakalagay 25%, 30%, 10%, 40%, so answer is 25%. Pero, kung ang hinahanap sa atin is yung exact number of respondents, kasi ilan ba yung nag-respond sa survey? 2,000, di ba? Kung hinahanap yung exact number sa choices, 2,000 respondents, sabi doon, 25% daw yung boboto kay candidate A. Kung 25% yung boboto kay candidate A, ibig sabihin, meron tayong 500 or 1/4 ng 2,000 is 500. Kasi ang kalahati ng 2,000 is 1,000. 25% is half of half or 25% or half of 50%. So, kalahati ng 1,000 is 500. Okay? Questions? So, ito yung very important step, yung pagkuha ng 25%, pag-extract. The rest, madali na lang. Percent multiplication lang. Alright? Okay. Kuha naman. Next problem. Ito naman, clustered bar chart. So, bar chart, basta may nakita kayo rectangular, pwede siya maging clustered, pwede siya maging stacked bar, or sometimes minsan may mga complication, pero usually clustered or stacked bar lang siya. Ano yung clustered? Ang itsura ng clustered is this one. Yan yung clustered bar chart. Okay? Ngayon, paano natin babasahin to? Again, pag nagbabasa kayo, tingnan nyo muna yung title. Una. So, public hospital budget. So, this chart is talking about public hospital budget. And then, ano yung axis natin? Ito yung axis natin. Nakalagay dun sa title, may parenthesis, in million pesos. So, ibig sabihin, etong axis natin na to, 0, 20, 40, 60, ang scale niya is in million pesos. So, 20 million, 40 million, 60 million, 80 million, and so on. So, 180 million here. So, uh, yan yung scale. So, yan yung axis natin dito is the budget itself. Ngayon, ano yung x-axis natin? You could see here, yung x-axis natin, different categories. So, meron kang medicines, facilities, workforce. So, meaning, yung budget mo, meron kang mga categories. So, yung mga may budget for medicine, may budget for facilities, may budget for workforce. Kasi ito, public hospital budget, right? Then, kinategorize siya sa tatlo. Ngayon, ano naman itong mga dark gray, light gray, slightly dark gray? Ano itong mga to? Makikita nyo, very important part din ng key element na kailangan nyo tignan is yung legend. So, makikita nyo yung legend natin dito. Ito ay in terms of years. So, years, ibig sabihin, kapag yung darkest gray, dark gray, yun yung for year 2024. Ano ibig sabihin nun? So, noong 2024, ang budget for medicines ay somewhere between 160 and 180, almost exactly in the middle. So let's say 170, yung 2024 budget sa medicines. Yung budget sa workforce in 2024, nandito siya exactly at 80 million. So this one, medicines ng 2024, 170 million. Yung workforce nung 2024, 80 million. Ito naman yung 2024 budget sa facilities, nasa between 140 and 160, almost exactly in the middle. So let's say 150 million. So yun yung pagbasa nitong chart. Okay? So yun yung clustered bar. So try natin kayo yung mag-extract ng value. Halimbawa, so kung just to quick check kung gets nyo, ano yung budget ng hospital for facilities in 2018? Sige, wait ko sa chat. 2018, ano yung budget for facilities? (2018) Yes. So, 2018, yung light gray. And sabi natin facilities. So, ito yan. So, light gray, yung 2018. So, somewhere in between 60 and 80. So, mukha siyang nasa gitna. At least visually. Usually naman estimation eh. So, mukha siyang nasa gitna ng 60-80. So, this is, let's say it's 70. So, for simplicity, let's say it's 70. So, but very important, ano yung units nun? Ano yung scale? Million. 70 million pesos yung budget nung sa facilities. Okay? So, gets naman 70, 70, tama. So, just don't forget yung million. So now, let's try a question. In 2021, what percent of the public hospital budget are medicines? So, how do we do this? So, gusto natin makuha yung percent of the public hospital budget are medicines in 2021. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kailangan natin makuha yung for medicine ng 2021 and makuha yung total ng 2021 budget. Kasi kailangan natin i-percent, di ba? So, percent, yung medicine over total, that is the percent budget for medicine. So, let's look at the 2021. Ano yung 2021? This one, yung somewhere between the dark and the light gray. So, yung nasa middle. Ano ba yung budget ng medicines for 2021? So, for 2021, medicines, nasan yan? Ito, medicines is 120, right? This one, in the middle, 2021, 120 million. Ano yung so ang gagawin natin, kuhanin natin yung for each 2020 medicine, facilities, workforce kasi kailangan natin i-total, right? So, ano yung medicines for 2021 is 120 million. Ano yung for facilities in 2021? Ano yung value? Sige, wait ko sa chat. Yan. Values ng for facilities in 2021. It's 80 million. Right? 80 million. Then, lastly, ano yung budget for workforce in 2021? Workforce in 2021 is around 50 million. So, somewhere in between 40 and 60. So, let's say it's 50 million. So, meron na tayong budget ng lahat ng categories. I-add natin to. Yun yung total natin is 250 million. So, 50, 120 plus 80 is 200 plus 50, 250 million total. Ito yung total budget nung 2021. Ano ba yung question sa atin? What percent of the public hospital budget are medicines? Ibig sabihin, medicines 120, what percent of the total? 250. So, ibig sabihin, 120 million over 250 million, that's your, times 100, that's your percent, right? Usually sa exam, kailangan nyo lang mag-approximate. Hindi nyo naman kailangan i-exact na, right? So, isipin nyo, 120 over 250. Ano approximate nito? Isipin nyo lang, ang usually ginagawa ko, 120 times 2 is 240, right? So, malapit na siya sa 250. Ibig sabihin, halos kalahati ng 250 yung 120. So, almost 50%, but slightly lower than 50%. So, we could say almost 50%. Actually, to be exact, it's 48%. Pero pag tinignan nyo yung choices, kung malalayo naman yung choices, halimbawa, makita nyo yung choices sa 40, 50, 60, 70, or 30, 40, 50, 60. So, doon na kayo sa 50%. So, this is yung pag-approximate. So, again, mag-approximate kayo kung makikita nyo sa choices na malalayo naman sila. Pwede na kayo mag-approximate. So, this one, alam nyo na yung 120, double niya is 240. So, almost kalahati siya ng 250. Okay? Questions? Yep. Alright. Next na chart na tayo. Ito naman another bar chart type, stacked bar chart. Pag kanina clustered, so meron kang bar charts na magkakatabi, yan yung clustered. Yung stacked bar, ibig sabihin meron kang bar chart na may naka-stack on top of each other, yung mga categories mo. This one, for example. So here, meron kang chart na Philippine age demographics in a million people. So ibig sabihin, gaano kalaki yung population ng Philippines and nakakategorize sa iba-ibang age categories. So, tingnan nyo yung title first and yung scale here. Nasa title siya usually is million people. So, yung axis mo, ibig sabihin ito in million. 20 million, 40 million, 120 million people. Itong y-axis mo. Ano yung x-axis naman? Ito, ibig sabihin ito for 1970. This one is for 2020. Nakakategorize siya. Yung categories mo, yung mga naka-stack na bar, yun yung categories mo na naka-explain naman sa legend. Yung light gray, yun yung more than 64 years old. 15 to 64 yung slightly darker gray, and yung dark gray is 0 to 14 years old. Okay? So, question sa atin, so question here is, okay naman dito sa understanding, no? So just to check, so pwede nyo to i-total, 35 plus 72 plus 6, yan yung total for 2020. So naka-indicate lang ilan yung sa mga per category natin. Pero pag tinotal nyo, 35 plus 70, 100, 107. Yeah, 107 plus 6, 113. So about 110, about 110, 113 million. So that's how you read this chart. Minsan, makikita nyo sa chart nakalagay pa on top ano yung total. In this case, hindi nakalagay ano yung total. Pero makikita nyo naman dito na nandun siya malapit na sa 120. So, ang question sa atin dito, which age group experienced the highest percentage growth from 1970 to 2020? So, again, ang question is highest percentage growth, not highest growth, not simply the highest growth. Kung ang tinatanong sa atin, which age group experienced the highest growth in population, titignan lang natin sino yung pinakalumaki, 'di ba? Kung 'yun yung question. Kung ang question halimbawa, sino bang pinakalumaki dito pag tinignan niyo 17 to 35, nadagdagan ng around nadagdagan ng around 18 or something. So or the 18. Dito naman nadagdagan ng 53. So obviously, even visually, pag tinignan nyo, pinakalumaki in terms of population growth, yung 15 to 64. From 19 naging 72, right? Yun kung tinatanong is highest growth in terms of population, right? In terms of growth in the actual population, the million people. Pero ang tinatanong sa atin, ano bang tinatanong sa atin? Highest percentage growth, right? So, makikita nyo yung mga data and charts, application lang siya ng mga inaral natin last time. Halimbawa, percentage growth or percentage increase. Tingnan natin, ano ba yung percentage increase tingnan muna natin yung values lang, yung million people. Ano yung change? So, meron kang 0 to 14, ilan ba yung from 1970 to 2020, 17 million to 35, right? Ito yung 0 to 14, 17 million to 35 million people. So, tingnan muna natin, i-extract muna natin yung mga data points, yung pinaka-importanting part ng data and charts. 15 to 64, meron tayong 19 million in 1970. Tapos, naging 72 million na siya in 2020. Tapos, yung 64 years old and above, meron tayong 1 million lang before, naging 6 million na siya. Ngayon, ang tinatanong sa atin, percent growth. Okay? Kung percent growth, hindi natin basta isusubtract lang. Kailangan natin yung percent difference, right? So, one way to go about this is to just check the multiple. Like, for this one, for 0 to 14, ano ba ang 17 times? Ito shortcut kasi pag nakita nyo naman sa choices na kung magkakalayo naman siya. Saka, obviously, ang tinatanong lang naman dito yung age group, right? So, ang magiging choices lang dyan, 0 to 14, 15 to 64, greater than 64, right? So, yun lang magiging choices. So, meaning, pwede kayo mag-approximate. Hindi nyo kailangan ano yung exact percentage growth. Kailangan nyo lang masabi sino ba yung pinakamalaking nag-grow. Isipin nyo lang dyan in terms of multiple, 17 to 35, para kang na-doble, di ba? 17 times 2 is equal to 34, right? 17 times 2 is 34. So, etong 17 to 35, halos nag 2 times. 2 times nung original. So, ibig sabihin, kung na-doble siya, 100% increase, 100% growth kasi nadagdagan ka ng 100% nung kung ano yung 17, nadagdag ka pa ng 17 or 18, right? So, kasi 17 times 2 is 34. So, this one is 35. So, slightly more than twice. Pag tinignan mo naman tong 15 to 64, approximately ilan to? 15 to 19 to 72. Approximately, kung whole number lang, para lang mas mabilis yung calculation natin kasi alam natin na pwede tayo mag-approximate dito based sa nature ng question. 19 to 72, isipin nyo lang, 20 times 4 is 80. So 19 times 4 is what? 19 times 4? 76. So around Around so 19 to 72 is around 4 times. So slightly less than 4 times. Pero around that multiple, right? So ibig sabihin nag-increase ka ng 300% or naging 4 times ng original na 19, almost naging 4 times to 72. Then yung 64, greater than 64 years old, from 1, naging 6. So around naging 6 times, right? So from 1 to 6, naging 6 times yung population mo. So pag tinignan mo to, well, sino dito yung pinakalumaki? Yung naging 6 times versus yung to naging twice lang, naging 4. So ito yung misleading dito kasi pag tinignan nyo yung chart, parang lumaki yung 1972. So baka yun yung answers. Pero hindi. Ito is just about 4 times. Actually, slightly less than 4 times. And if you look at the greater than 64, it's 6 times. So the answer is highest percentage growth is more than the age bracket of greater than 64 years old. All right. Questions?